Hi guys, welcome to Unacademy. My name is Prakash, and today's session is on completely for CAT 2021 preparation. Those guys who have started preparation in June and July, how should they approach the preparation? How many mocks they should give? When should they finish which part of syllabus? Right, so everything I planned for you. Okay, you just need to follow that planning. Okay, and this is one interesting one also, guys. This is Amazon Eco dot. Okay, so this is Amazon Eco dot contest here. So basically you have to correctly answer the question asked at the end of the session. So basically at the end of the session I'll ask one question that will be that's answer will be hidden in the session only. Okay, and users with most correct answers will be getting this Amazon Eco dot. Okay, and basically in all the subsequent YouTube sessions they will ask you these questions here. Okay, so at the end of every YouTube session there will be one question, and the user with fastest and highest number of correct answers will get an Amazon Eco dot. That's great, right? Okay, so let's start our strategy part, guys. So in this video I'll be discussing all the plans which you require for preparation for CAT 2021 in this last 4.5 months. Okay, so this in this video I'll be explaining everything required for this CAT 2021. What should we be planning in this last 135 days roughly which is left for CAT, how many mocks you should give, how you should plan your preparation, which parts of the syllabus you should focus more on. Okay, so everything we'll discuss here, right? That's the agenda. Okay, let's start this, guys. See, so it's for CAT 2021 basically. Now with this one around 135 days to left, or let's say 130 days to left right now. So in this part basically let's first discuss about this quant. Okay, so how we are going about the quant here. Correct. Now see, guys, in basically quant you have to focus on basically three parts, very important actually. Okay, so those three parts should be algebra, that is three modules. Okay, then arithmetic, and then it should be geometry. So let's say for example if you guys have started preparation, let's say in for all the, especially for all the guys who have started preparation somewhere around June. Okay, so people who started their preparation in June and July, so especially very important for them actually. Okay, so people who started preparation in June and July, correct, it is very important for them. So basically how you should focus on this part, right? There you go. So first of all, just try to gather good knowledge about this subject, right? Don't run behind mocks, because in mocks you would not be, if you're not be solving questions, right, then you won't feel good. Okay, so basically mocks are to judge your level of preparation, right? Always. Okay, so when you're preparing about algebra, arithmetic and geometry, okay, these three modules in every mock, out of if there are 34 questions in mock, in every mock you will see at least 20 to 25 questions from these three modules. Okay, let's start from numbers and P and C. So maximum questions you would see from these three modules. So make sure that before going to any mock you have finished these three modules, right? Now once you finish these three modules, what does it actually mean? Finishing means what? Okay, let's talk about algebra. If I talk about algebra here, so in this algebra what you need to do is you need to make a chapter list, right? For example, we have all the chapters. So we have chapters on polynomials, correct? We have chapters chapters like logs, logarithms, indices, sets. Okay, then we have chapter like function and graphs, then sequence and series, then linear and special equations. Okay, topic like advanced algebra. So all these topics are in algebra or involving higher powers. They'll see a lot of questions from these topics in any exam, right? So make sure that when you're making list of all these topics, okay, so make sure that every topic you have solved at least some 30 to 40 questions. That will make sure that in these many topics you have solved at least some 300 questions. Okay, so solving a number of questions is very important, right? Because you don't get used to variety. So it's always the case of quality and quantity, not only one thing, right? So it's always the case of quality and quantity. Okay, so you have to solve good quality questions, that's fine, but it's focus solve on solving more number of questions, right? What that will actually do, that will basically, if you're solving more number of questions, that means you're solving more varieties, okay? And if you're solving more varieties, that actually means that you are doing good with that. So what is the source, right? So what is the source of preparation for these things, right? So if I talk about algebra, guys, the source of preparation will be, okay, see here, the source of preparation will be, if you have any coaching material, it's fine. Otherwise, if you have any coaching material, it's fine, okay? Otherwise, you can just go to, it's a huge question bank we have developed, okay? You can just go to Unacademy app there, okay? I'll just tell you, this is a huge question bank, guys, okay? Some 20k, 1000 plus questions are there, 20k plus questions in this question bank. Just create your own test, okay? Just go to create tests, host your quiz, okay? There you'll get an option of host quiz. You can create your own quiz. Let's say for algebra, you have solved, you have to create a quiz of 40 questions. The 40 questions, you can give a time of 80 seconds per question, okay? And you can just create a test of a quiz of 40 questions. You can just solve those 40 questions in those time limit, and after that the questions which are not solved you can practice, okay? There's one very good source here, okay? And this way you can do it for everything. For example, you can do it for arithmetic, percentage to profit loss. Basically, it's a chapter wise practice. So very good thing for chapter wise practice, okay? Chapter wise practice, really good thing, okay? Means you want to give a test of percentage profit loss, just go to Unacademy app, create test from the topic, only choose percentage and profit loss, okay? And that will create a test of 40. You can create a test of 10 questions as well as 20 questions, 40 questions, completely your choice. So those 40 questions will come, you can put a time limit of 80 seconds per question. That will give you some high quality questions, okay? So make sure that you are using this feature, very important, okay? Second thing is, you can focus some on book like Quantum CAT is a good book. So Quantum CAT is a good book. If you don't have any coaching material, you can go for Quantum CAT book for and it's a good book for practice. Although the number of questions are very high, okay, but it's fine. You can just select your questions, okay, out of those questions. Don't solve many repetitive questions. Focus on solving more different varieties of question, right? And it will help you actually, this book. So even if I talk about algebra, you need to do same thing here, okay? Even if I talk about arithmetic, you need to do same thing here. Now again, after doing algebra, for example, now you can do arithmetic. Now arithmetic is again all the chapters like percentage, profit loss, equations, ratio, proportion, variation, alright? Then time and distance, then time and work, then average, mixtures and allegations, right? All these topics, then SICI. So it's again a very good topic, a very good module of arithmetic. Again, same thing, right? You can just practice from these books. You can practice this app, okay? And there are several YouTube channels you can get the funda, and you can always do this. So basically, after you finish this algebra, arithmetic and geometry, so make a target like, okay, this algebra, arithmetic and geometry, I need to finish in next 40 to 50 days, right? You make a target, okay? So example, if you have started your preparation on 1st July, okay, so let's say that you have started your preparation on 1st July. So if you have started your preparation on 1st of July, so I'll tell you, if you have started preparation on 1st of July, so from 1st of July, make a target of around 45 days, right? That is till 15th of August. So mind it, I've told you those who have started started your preparation, right? So not for everybody, right? So basically, other people can just take that ratio, okay, that 45 days from whenever they have started. So 45 days, that is till around 15th of August. What you can do is, you can just finish off these things here, okay? So by 15th of August, if you have a good command on algebra, if you have a good command in arithmetic, and if you have a good command in geometry, then you can start giving mocks after that, right? Then actually giving mocks makes some sense, because if you see mocks, then at least out of 34 questions, if you see some 25 questions from these topics, so you can, out of 25 questions, you can attempt some 15 questions there, right? And then it will be good. So don't panic, right? It's basically if you have started preparation late, so only demerit is comparison, nothing else, right? If you've started preparation in July, you can perfectly finish your CAT preparation in 130 to 140 days. only thing is you don't get panicked because the people around you would be giving mocks, finishing syllabus, right? That's perfectly fine. Okay, no, don't compare it with at this stage. Don't compare with them. Okay, because you need to first reach this level, right? So it's just you don't have to panic, right? Basically, it's all about getting good content knowledge. So have good content knowledge in all the topics. Okay. Now good content knowledge, I basically mean to say the same thing, right? You have solved all the varieties of questions in algebra, arithmetic, geometry, topics, all these topics, right? And basically the topics like numbers. So you'll say, what about numbers and P and C? I'll say topic like numbers and P and C, guys, numbers and permutation, combination, and probability. Even this topic you can see in last August to September. Okay, you can start in August last and you can go to September. It's perfectly fine. Even if you finish before September, it's still 2 months before CAT, right? So you just don't have to panic that okay, my numbers is not finished, my PS is not finished. It's already August. It's perfectly fine. It's August. It's still 4 months to CAT. Okay, it's still 3 months to CAT. It's perfectly fine. So you can just finish these two topics in mostly 20 to 25 days. You can easily finish these two topics, right? And you will not see much question from these two topics, right? So that's why don't panic. You can see that okay, my CAT is in November, and even if I finish this topic by 20th September or 25th September, it's perfectly fine. Then I can easily practice in 2 months and attempt all the questions in CAT. That's the way, right? You should not panic. Panic is the key word here because people starting late. That's the main reason. They just panic. Okay, everywhere. Material this, that, and the panic. So there's no preparation planning here. Okay. So don't have to get panicked actually. That's the one thing. Okay, fine. So basically, so now let's take a target of from this, right? So basically I'll make a target here for all of you. Okay, so people feel in directionless. I'll just, because see, day-to-day planning we can't do for you. Okay, because your day-to-day planning is different from mine. Okay, or it could be different from some, if I make planning for A, B, maybe a person B is doing some job, or maybe person C is in college, or maybe person D is having a break, right? So it's, you don't know what is the perfect plan, but just go by target, right? So by it's, let's say 1st July, let's say you started your preparation, for example, right? And this is 15th August is the first halt year. Okay, so 1st July to 15th August, make sure that you have in this 45 days in Quant, you have finished these topics like algebra, arithmetic, and geometry. Very, very important. Not finished. Finished means having good command. Okay, good command. That's very important actually. Fine. Now after that, guys, once you have good command on these topics, so what you can do now, that you can move to now LRDI. Okay, so in this period, how to move about LRDI, I'll tell you. In the same period, how do you solve LRDI, guys? Here in LRDI, basically you are just make a list of a syllabus, right? Basically आपको क्या करना है, make a list of linear, like what are the chapters here? Linear and circular arrangements is a chapter. Fine. What is the other chapter? The other chapter is let's say for example selections and matrix. Okay, then let's say the other chapter is quant based puzzles. Okay, then let's say the other chapter is in this you can just add a few topics like games and tournaments. Okay, so games and tournaments, then you can add here roots and networks, then you can add here cubes and cuboids. Okay, then you can add here binary logic. So all these are chapters of LRDI. Binary logic you can add here. Okay, then further you can add some typical DI sets. So typical DI sets includes what? So typical DI sets includes like a topic like bar graph, correct, pie charts, then I should write here line charts. Okay, then maxima minima also will come into this. Okay, then we're talking about logical reasoning and DI mixed part is Venn diagram, correct. So just make a list of all these things. Even if you say Venn diagram, it should be 4 to 5 parameters, everything. So when it comes to Venn diagram, cover 4-5 parameters, right? Just try to do at least in this phase. Let's say we have got this 45 days here. In this 45 days for LRDI, make sure that you're solving at least 180 to 200 sets. That is basically 4 to 5 sets per day. Okay, 4 to 5 sets per day. Just don't panic, right? People around you will be doing lots of stuff. It's perfectly fine. So 4-5 sets per day. so if you do 180 sets here, target solving some 20 sets on linear and circular alignment. Let's say for example 10 sets on selection and matrix, quant based puzzles some 40 to 50 sets. Okay, then games and tournaments some 20 sets, roots and networks some at least 5 to 7 sets, cubes and cuboids some 5 to 7 sets, binary logic some 3 to 5 sets. Typical DI basically means around you can solve some 20 sets here. Bar graph, okay, all this topic combined, like typical DI I'm telling you. So all this topic combined, you can solve some 40 sets here. Maxa, minima and Venn diagram, you can solve some 30 to 40 sets, right? So if you see it is roughly around 200, right? Okay, so this is your main idea. Before giving mock, you want to have command on all these typical LRDI chapters. Okay, so before giving mocks, you want to have command on all these typical LRDI chapters, so that you can attempt a question. Once you give mock, should we attempt, okay, this is a pie chart, okay, this is a Venn diagram, okay, this is some games topic, right? Something like that. Okay, so this is the idea you need to implement till 15th of August. So in LRDI, make sure that in all these topics you have finished everything. Okay, all this you have finished, and then after 15th August you can just go full on. Okay, practice, right? Complete practice, and make sure that this habit even go till CAT. In LRDI, till CAT, you have to solve on an average 4 to 5 sets per day. Okay, because people who have started in July, you have a time of around 5 months, right? So it's around 140 days. So even if you do one for 140 days, if you solve 5 sets per day, that is 700 sets you solve before CAT. So that's why you see that I'm focusing on numbers, right? 700 sets for LRDI, 300 to 500 questions in algebra or arithmetic, like that. These numbers are very important actually. Okay, because if you don't cover 700 sets, knowing LRDI, it's very easy. You solve a couple of sets, you finish for 2 days. यार LRDI मैंने 2 sets solve कर लिया, कल ही किया था, कल करेंगे. So that you don't take a number, so you realize that per day you're solving 1 set, and in 140 days you're solving some 140 sets. So how will you cover this LRDI syllabus, and how do you develop your thinking process? You can't do it over 140 sets, right? There's so many different things in LRDI, so many different concepts, so many different varieties of sets. So basically you need to develop spot on thinking, and that can be only achieved by solving different varieties of sets throughout your preparation. And for example, for me, a rough number is somewhere around 600 to 900 sets. I always tell people to do it, okay, before going to CAT. Then actually you can in CAT you can think on this spot, right? Otherwise it's a LRDI is very open-ended chapter, right? So with the idea behind all this discussion is that LRDI is a very open-ended thing. They can ask anything in LRDI. Anything means, if suppose right now some tennis tournament is going on, they'll build a set on tennis tournament. IPL has gone by, they'll build a set on IPL. If they want to, if World Cup has, they can build a set on World Cup actually, right? In anything, cricket, football, any games, okay. They can build some set like preparation of food preparation in Pizza Huts and McD's, right? They can build some set on numbers based puzzles, quant based puzzles, right? So it's a very open-ended thing actually. So you need to develop spot on thinking on this, right? And for that you need to solve and practice a lot. Very important. Okay, fine. So this is so right now till what we have done. So we have prepared a good plan from 1st August to 15th of July, right? So we have prepared some good plan from 1st of July, right? So 1st of July to 15th of August. Okay, so what is our plan actually? We need to finish quant, those 3 modules, okay, like algebra, arithmetic and geometry, have good command. And in LRDI I need to finish my syllabus, and while finishing that syllabus, make sure that you're covering some 180 to 200 sets at least, right? Because the other person can take it meaning as, okay, it's linear circular arrangement, let's solve couple of sets from both the topic. Okay, fine. No, at least solve 20 sets from this topic, right? What is the source for LRDI? Okay, so source for LRDI will be again so many sources, right? Okay, so if you are some paid coaching student, it's all perfectly fine. You'll have all these sets to solve, right? If you're preparing from some free stuffs, right? So all the YouTube channels, many YouTube channels have got some different varieties of sets. Do search for these sets and solve, okay? then you can always focus on last year mocks. So there are so many different Google Drive links floating in the market. You can just see in any Facebook group, Telegram groups, you'll get some Google Drive link. Okay, here you have all the past year mocks collection. Okay, and you can just search for your sets. And third thing is all the current, whichever mocks you enroll, so all these sectionals in those mocks. Okay, so those mocks have give sectional means basically there will be only LRDI test for 1 hour, like that. Okay, so whichever mock you purchase, you have got all that stuff, right? So basically you can cover all your LRDI syllabus through this from 1st July to 15th of August, correct? Okay, so now what after 15th of August, guys? Okay, so what after 15th of August now? Let's plan further. Okay, now after 15th of August, so now when my next plan is after 15th of August. Okay, so starting from 15th of August to, let's say, around 25th of September, that is around 2 months before CAT. So these 40 days you need to give around 10 mocks. Okay, understand this? Okay, very important. In these 40 days you need to give around 10 mocks. Okay, now in these 10 mocks you have to judge your weakness, right? You have to judge your weakness. What is your weakness level? Okay, means which portions you are not, because you studied, that's fine, right? But which portions you are not covering, which portions you are feeling uncomfortable. Whilst, for example, you studied a lot, that's fine, but you are for example, in the mock, if you're getting a question of algebra, so maybe you're not feeling that comfortable. I've studied algebra, it's fine, I've solved good amount of question, but I'm not feeling that comfortable, not feeling that confident while attending to all this algebra question. Okay, maybe you are solving in LRDI, maybe you're not very comfortable with DI sets. Okay, you need to see 2-3 graphs like pie chart and all this bar graph, you get confused, tend to get confused, right? So these 40 days will you basically, you have to judge your weaknesses, right? What is your weakness here? Okay, you need to judge your weakness level here. Very, very important, judging your weakness and working on it Okay, so you need to see that, okay, because if I feel uncomfortable in algebra, let's study algebra a bit. I feel uncomfortable in geometry, let's study that a bit, right? So these 40 days are very, very important to just judge your preparation. To around 10 mocks and around 20 sectionals we do. 20 sectionals means you have to like suppose you can give some 7 to 8 sectionals in Quant, some 7 to 8 in VARC, and some 5 to 6 in LRDI. Okay, that's sectionals you can give, right? That 1 hour test. So some 10 mocks and 20 sectionals will clear this part. So till 25th September you should be ready now. Okay, and after that, when this 25th September is over, okay, now after this you need to just go slogging, right? Now what is slogging? Slogging means in the last 2 months, what you need to do here is, guys, so from 25th September, so make sure that till CAT, that is around 28 number, I hope it should be. So from 25th September till CAT, okay, 25th September till 28th of November. I hope this is a CAT day. Okay, so in these 2 months, in this roughly 60 days available, in these 60 days you need to give at least 25 mocks. That's very, very important, right? Giving mocks very, very important. Okay, you need to give 25 mocks here. Now 25 mocks, full mocks, right? Maybe the gap will be maybe in every 2 to 3 days 1 mock you can give, right? Now if the funda is, if it is a 3-hour mock, for example, if it is a 3-hour mock, okay, then you have to give 6 hours to analysis time for its analysis. Okay, if it's a similarly, if it's a 2 hours mock, so you can give a 4 hours time for analysis. Okay, so at 3 hours mock, 6 hours analysis, 2 hours mock, 4 hours analysis. Okay, it will go like that, right? So for a 3-hour mock, let's say for example we have a 6-hour analysis. Now how to do that analysis in 6 hours? Okay, so basically now if you've just, let's say for example, if you have finished your mock number, let's say for you have finished your mock number 15, this is a 15th mock here. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to make an Excel sheet here, make an Excel sheet. Okay, or you can do it on your paper also, it's your wish. Okay, you just need to make a column of, like, for example, algebra, then you have to make it for geometry, then numbers, like that, right? All the 5 modules of quant, let's say arithmetic, okay, let's say LRDI here, and let's say you can put some VARC also, okay, like that. So VARC, you can just divide this portion into 2 parts here, RC and VA. Oh, no, don't do too many verticals, okay. RC and VA is fine. So now from this you need to see that, okay, I've done my arithmetic here, okay. So from starting only, so you're making this table, right? From mock number 1 you're making this table, okay. So if you're given your mock number 1, correct, so in your mock number 1 you see that how many questions were from arithmetic, okay. So for example, in mock number 1 there were 10 questions from arithmetic. Okay, you can just write here, okay, so you can just write here that I did 6, maybe for example 6, correct, you can write 6 by 10. Maybe there are 7 questions from algebra, so you can write here, just you did 2, correct, 2 by 7. Okay, maybe there are 6 questions of geometry, you did 3, correct, 6 by 3, like that. Okay, numbers 4 question, 2 by 4, you mean 2, correct, 2 by 4, like that. In LRDI there were some talk about just not in this, don't talk about question, talk about sets. If there are 8 sets here, so you got 2 sets right, fine. In RC you have, if there are 6 RC, you got 2 right, okay, like that. In VA, if there are 10 questions, you did some 3 right, like that. You make a list, then same list over for mock 2, again same thing for mock 2, same thing from mock 3, correct. So this is now basically when you're analyzing one mock, right? So for example, like this, if once you reach to mock number 15 one day, okay, so every mock you're analyzing for 6 hours, right? 6 hours. So in this mock 50 analysis, what you need to do is that what is a pattern I'm seeing in arithmetic? Is my arithmetic getting strong or getting weaker, or I'm feeling uncomfortable? So for example, in arithmetic, the general pattern is here 6 by 10, and you can say, array, it's 2 by 9 here, okay, it's 3 by 8 here, maybe in some other mock it is some again 10 by 4 here. So in arithmetic you're getting less than 50% questions right, okay. That's the problem. The arithmetic is a problem area, you need to work separately on arithmetic. Just make a notes here, okay, that arithmetic I need to focus more till CAT, arithmetic I need to focus more till CAT, okay. Same way you can do for all the other chapters. I hope you got the idea, okay. That's the Excel sheet part you need to do, okay. That's not the only analysis, this is a part of analysis, right? Now how do you do that analysis actually? So once you start with any mock, right? So once you finish, sorry, for example, so once you finish with any mock, okay, so how to do mock analysis? So once you finish with any mock here, for example, okay, so mock analysis we'll be doing in another session, right? Now, so basically this is how you should move forward, right? So that's a plan. So basically take this first step as plan, guys, okay, and make sure that you guys are in all these modules, in algebra, in arithmetic, in numbers, in P&C probability, okay, and in geometry. The number of questions in algebra, you're solving some 500 questions at least till CAT minimum, okay. In arithmetic you're solving some at least 500 to 600 questions. You can just make that further increase, right? Because you need a lot of good practice and speed in arithmetic, because you'll see it's a very important topic for all the exams, okay. In numbers you're solving some 300 to 400 questions, okay. In P&C probability at least 200 questions, and geometry at least some 400 to 450 questions, okay. That number, right, these numbers are number of questions are very important, okay, because that number of questions, if you don't focus on, you won't be feeling confident in any topic, because you have not covered the whole variety, okay. And if you see the last year pattern, especially if you see in algebra, okay, so in algebra the major focus here is in function and graphs. You'll see always couple of questions on function and graphs, at least 1-2 questions in exam. This is the most recent pattern. Okay, you see sequence and series, very, again you see at least 1 to 2 questions from this topic you can see, correct. Then you can see some questions on logarithms. Okay, so you can see at least 2 questions on logarithms, because logarithm is a topic. Logarithm is a topic because they combine with advanced algebra. So they can combine with advanced algebra, and they can combine with polynomials, and all the concepts are tested. So you can ask them two questions, even seen 4 questions, right? Okay, from logarithms. But yeah, that's not pure logarithm. That's a mixture of logarithm with advanced algebra or polynomials, right? Like that. So these are the topics which should especially focus in algebra. More and more should be targeting these things here. Okay, in algebra. Okay. Now, once I move to arithmetic, so what is focus? Should we focus on arithmetic? In arithmetic, I've seen a constant question, focus on time and distance chapter. So time and distance chapter, I've seen around every time asking 2 to 3 questions in a 34 questions quant exam. Okay, so time and distance again becomes very important topic, right? From this thing, time and distance is again very important topic. They give questions on percentage profit loss or SICI. I've seen at least 2 questions in this area in arithmetic. Regularly I see this. Okay, so if you see that there are 10 to 12 questions in arithmetic, so these are the again part to focus on: time and distance, profit loss, SICI. Okay, then they'll put some questions on mixtures. Again, couple of questions in mixtures I see. You can ask 1 or 2 questions here from mixture topic, right? They can also they also ask these questions on basically this one, time and work. Okay, so time and work is an easy topic, right? Not very tough topic, but still there are some 5 to 6 very good variety of questions that are generally formed in time and work. Okay, so you can do some 1 or 2 questions in time and work also. So you make sure that basically arithmetic, once you're solving here, should not miss any question. Okay, don't miss. Make sure not missing any question here. Okay, just for practice. But the problem with arithmetic is actually, I'll tell you what's the major problem with arithmetic. The problem with arithmetic is actually the ego problem. Okay, that's the major problem with arithmetic. Now what is the ego problem here for everyone? Now if I see that, because arithmetic all the questions will see very familiar, right? Now if I see a big questions on SICI and installments, okay, so in SICI they can include some concept of installment, and they can give you some big question here. So there are some really big questions in arithmetic. Now big questions means they can ask a lot of different varieties of question, lengthy question. They can ask some 5 to 6 lines of question. Okay, and while attempting it, they can just like, okay, you can attempt that question, and you can just waste your 5-6 minutes in that. Okay, in one question. It's not advisable, right? Okay, even if you solve it. So basically arithmetic is the kind of topic which actually decides the paper, because if you put 10-12 questions in arithmetic, okay, so if they are putting 10 to 12 questions in arithmetic and they're putting some 5-6 lengthy question, okay, so that whole paper becomes lengthy now, because these questions will be generally attempted by all the people. Okay, and the overall cutoff will go down for the paper. That's a very important thing. So basically you need to see that these things, right, while preparation, that it's okay, you study, that's fine, but in exam you shouldn't have any ego problem here. Okay, so in arithmetic or in geometry, in algebra, anywhere, lengthy questions which should not attempt, right? So that's why the strategy to attempt the quant paper, so strategy to attempt the quant paper is always round 1 and round 2. Always a strategy. This is a strategy, right? If it's a 60 minutes examination of 34 questions, always the strategy goes like this. You have to first attempt all the questions. So you have to first attempt all the questions in round 1, all the one-liner question and familiar question, right? So if we don't want to at all waste my time in the round 1 questions, okay, so all the one-liners question and all the familiar questions we are doing in the quant part in round 1, okay, and then in round 2 we are solving all the this tougher questions here. All the tougher questions we are solving in round 2, or the lengthier questions, right? So basically in round one, you can, round one is a very important part. It's a kind of run through of the paper. Okay. Now run through of the paper means what? Now, for example, you can see that, okay, my first question is geometry, right? So my first question is geometry and it's a big one. It's a big one. Okay. Don't attempt it. Leave for round two. Okay. Even if your geometry is a favorite topic, then mark for review. Okay, right, it's my favorite topic. I have the confidence I can solve this question. Just mark for review and move to next one. Right. You see second question on the screen. You see second one on the screen. That second question is about again a big question on arithmetic. A lengthy question. Maybe some 4 to 6 lines questions. Okay. A paragraph kind of question. Leave it. Okay. If you don't like arithmetic, don't mark for review. If you like it, mark for review. Okay. And then you can move to third question now. Third question, you get a small question, readable question, and you see it's on numbers. For example, you need to find remainders, or there's some rule-based question, right? Or there's some familiar question which you saw in mocks, or which you did in some classes, right? So this third you should attempt. So like this, moving, you need to move till 1 to 34 questions. Okay. So you're moving from 1 to 34 questions like this. Now once you're moving from 1 to 34 questions like this, if you have studied well, guys, in a preparation phase now, then mark my words, you can in the first 15 to 20 minutes, that's the maximum part of round one, right? It should be from 15 to 20 minutes maximum. I'm talking about 60 minutes examination. Okay, so it is maximum 15 to 20 minutes. So in these 15 to 20 minutes, if you can just solve all these questions, let's say around 8 to 9 questions, if you can solve, okay, and you can mark your favorite topic for review. Mark for review your topics, your favorite questions here. Then it will be a really a boon for all of you, right? It will be like in the first 15 minutes you can solve some 8 questions. Okay, it depends on paper, right? If the paper is tougher, there will be less familiar questions, so you can spend your round one in 15 minutes. Okay, if the paper is easier, you get 4 more familiar questions. You can extend your round one to 20 minutes. But make sure that it's not going beyond 15 to 20 minutes, right? So in that 15-20 minutes, you've got a good look of the paper. You have solved some easier questions on the paper. You have reached in the end of round one, you have reached from question number 1 to 34 by marking review and looking at all the questions, right? So that's a very important part. And then round two is all yours. You can play as you wish, correct? So round two is completely all yours, correct? So that's how you should go for Quant. So all these plans which I'm making for this Quant and LRDI, guys, make sure you are giving 45 mocks. So all the guys who have started their preparation in June and July, make sure that you guys are giving 45 mocks till end, because apart from all the content knowledge, you have to open up your hands in problem solving, right? New questions. So mocks will help a lot. So make sure that you're getting 45 mocks. Okay. So see, in LRDI, basically, once you're giving any mock or even CAT exam, right? So how do you attempt it, right? So a very important point here is, in LRDI, for example, if we have 8 sets right now, okay. So if 8 sets are asked, basically each set contains 4 questions each, correct? So now it's very important to, because you cannot have a look at all the 8 sets in one go. No way, it's not possible. Otherwise, you'd be wasting some 7 to 8 minutes in that, right? So I'll just advise you, if you have a 60 minutes paper here, right? If you have a 60 minutes paper here, listen guys. So in this 60 minutes paper, you'll just have a look at just 2 to 3 minutes, right? 2 to 3 minutes maximum, not more than that, right? Make sure. So 2 to 3 minutes maximum. Have a scan on this, right? Have a scan on all these sets, okay? And pick 3 sets which you feel are very comfortable, right? This is a strategy I've been telling you, telling all the people who are giving CAT from last 2-3 years, right? It's a very strategy, because I've seen this strategy working. I've myself felt this strategy, and it's a very good strategy actually, because very practical also, because it's not possible you can spend some 6 to 8 minutes on just scanning the sets, or for just finding which sets to choose, right? Or neither you can just start away randomly solving a set without having a good look at the sets also, okay? So basically it's very important that in the first half of your paper, okay, in the first half of your paper, you are able to solve at least one set or 1.5 set. Okay, means that means you have solved one set and you are in the some middle of the other set, right, in a decent way. So basically it's in the first half of your paper, it's very important that you solve that 1 to 1.5 set. So for that you need to actually pick 3 sets of your comfort zone. You need to pick 3 sets of your comfort zone. Now what is your comfort zone? You need to pick that, right? What is your comfort zone? Okay, maybe like for me, if I give a CAT exam, so I'm very comfortable with the questions which are having quant based puzzles and all. Okay, so the questions which are having quant based puzzles, the questions which are having numbers based puzzles. Okay, further the questions which are like a pure LR question involving some good 7-8 conditions. So I'm very happy to make cases and I'll just solve the paper, right? So basically it's similarly, everybody has got their own comfort level, because till CAT you must have solved some 700-800 sets, given a lot of mocks, right? So you just need to figure it out. So even in mocks also, same thing you need to do here. Okay, just scan for 2-3 minutes, pick your 3 sets which you feel like that, okay, these are the 3 sets which will be very helpful for me. Correct. These 3 sets or you get a feeling, right? Okay, these sets, these kind of sets I can do. Okay, you get a feeling, right? For example, in CAT 19, if you talk about, so in CAT 19 there were if I talk about my classes, so there were sets on crypt arithmetic, so people could easily solve it, right? Because I've done a lot of sets in class. There were sets on a web the spider web diagram, spider web chart. Okay, so again that was very easy and people could easily solve it, right? So those 2-3 sets were their comfort zone. If I talk about CAT 20, okay, so here the LRDI was on bit difficult side. So still there was one 4-set Venn diagram which people should choose at first. Okay, there was a one good quant based puzzle, okay, that people could have choose, right? So you can just see, when you see this paper you can judge it. Okay, these are the 2 sets I could have picked in this CAT 20 paper, or these are the 2 sets I could pick in CAT 19 paper. It goes like that actually. Okay, so that's why very important that you select these sets in the first 2-3 minutes. Don't waste much time. Don't even go to 4 minutes. No, just 2 to 3 minutes. That's maximum. That's it. Pick your 3 sets which you feel that you're comfortable, your instincts will support you. Okay, and then you can just solve it, right? And just try to solve. So basically if you pick the initial 3 sets of your comfort level, it's a very high probability, that the probability is very high that you must be able to solve 1 or 2 out of it, right? That's a good start you got, especially in the first half of the paper. Okay, so if the exam, if first half, if I mean to say, if it's a 60 minutes exam, and in 60 minutes exam, in the first 30 minutes, if you could solve some 2 sets, okay, that's a real good thing. Yeah, even 1 to 1.5 set also good. Okay, so 1.5 to 2 set, and then in the further 30 minutes 1.5 to 2 set, right? Basically 3 to 4 sets in the exam, you'll get 99 plus. The way the exams pattern is going on in last few years, CAT, you should get 99 plus, right? So very important to follow this strategy in LRDI and make it a habit. So do it regularly in mocks also. In mocks also, make a regular habit of solving by this strategy. Okay. Moreover, obviously the mock sometime will give some random sets. Okay, because I told you LRDI is a very unpredictable exam. Okay, LRDI is a paper, right? Very open-ended paper. It's a very open-ended, anything can be asked. Open-ended means very unpredictable, right? So sometime in mocks you will see some very weird sets, right? Very common, it's very common actually. In mock you'll see some very weird sets. Okay, so basically that's because they don't know that which kind of level the paper will be, right? It's perfectly fine, just see those weird sets. Okay, if you feel like you can feel like, okay, this is very lengthy, or this is very unusual kind of. Okay, so you can just have a look at the solution, just know the concept, and then it's fine, you can just escape it, or maybe you're not score that well in mocks, right? But obviously those weird sets numbers are not too high. Okay, but yeah, they do give for a good practice. Okay, so in those mocks the scores will fluctuate. You may get, in the previous mock you get some 95 plus in LRDI, maybe in the next mock you can get some 15 LRDI. So be prepared for this kind of situations. Be prepared, right? It could happen because it is mock. For some reason it is called mock, guys. Okay, very important. It's not the actual exam. For some reason it is called mock, because in mock it's the rehearsal for final exams, right? So for the in this rehearsal you can work out a bit, you can see your strategy working out, in which way the paper will go. You can see, you can judge your weaknesses even till very last mocks, right? So this, for some reason, it is called mock. Okay, it is not CAT, right? So make sure that these mocks are not taking the scores if 95 to 50. Sometimes you got people like अब तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता, अब कैट छोड़ देते हैं. It's perfectly fine यार. I took many interviews, no? ठीक है, people are right now in IIM Bangalore, IIM Ahmedabad, FMS. All these guys have sometime scored very less, maybe some 40 or 50 percentile in mocks. So people ending up in IIM Bangalore right now sometimes scored 40 in mocks, 40 percentile, 50 percentile in mocks, right? That's perfectly fine. It's like always the attitude should be don't give up. ठीक है, छोड़ना नहीं है कभी भी. Don't give up at any point of time. Okay, just keep on fighting, keep on fighting, keep on fighting, keep on fighting. Okay, sometime it will happen, right? If you ever got, now at some stage it will happen that you have got a good content knowledge, right? That's a very, very important thing. Even if it is bit late, you started bit late, that's fine, but you will have some good content knowledge on the topics. For example, let's say arithmetic, let's say geometry, for example. You have to develop good content knowledge. Okay, so that's why even if it is still September, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, ठीक है, एग्जाम तो नवंबर दिसंबर में है ना, कैट इज ए नवंबर एंड, जैट इन जनवरी एंड, राइट? सो इवन टिल September you can build some good content knowledge. Okay, it's perfectly fine that you would be ending up with some good high quality, you can solve some good high quality questions in the exam. So in the exam, in those national level exams, in those time frame, they're time based exams, speed exams, all these exams, you can attempt the questions with some confidence only if you have got a good content knowledge. Think the other side of it. You are given 60 mocks, okay, just because people are running behind mocks and you're not a good content knowledge. Can you attempt the exam with confidence? No, right? Just because तुम्हें पता ही नहीं है कि टॉपिक में बहुत सारे टॉपिक्स होती हैं, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, तुम्हें पता ही नहीं है, राइट? दैट्स वाई गेनिंग गुड कंटेंट नॉलेज should be the aim. Okay, even if it is bit late, it's fine. ठीक है, you have got some very good exams like CAT, ZAT, SNAP, NMAT, IIFT, right? Even if you clear any one of the exam, you clear with some good 98 plus 99 percentile, okay, then you end up in some top 30 college of the country. Once you enter into top 30 college of the country, it's perfectly fine. Now after that you've got the necessary start for that, right? That the necessary kick start for that, actually. Okay, that's the right word, kick start. Because after that it's your life. You have to see, you have to perform in the college, you have to perform in the company. But that starting point, right, you don't have to start with some 20,000 salary, 30,000 salary job, right? So this top 30 will ensure that you are ending at some good position in the company, in placements, you are earning some 1 lakh rupees in a hand, and from there you can start your career. So it's a huge difference from starting your career from 20,000 rupees, okay, or 30,000 rupees, than to start your career from 1 lakh rupees, okay. So after that it's your life. After that college doesn't play much role, right? It's just like you're the alumni, you're the kick start, what you learn in that college, then you're applying those companies, right? It is very, very important that you keep on focusing on these things, right? So I hope all of you got that funda, right? How do you actually attempt these questions? How do you attempt all these questions in the exam? How should you attempt these mocks? Okay. One more thing I'd like to add on, right? So I'm not a very technical person for VARC, but I'll give a logical way of solving VARC, right? Or attempting or mocks of VARC. Basically, the VARC, apart from all the technicalities which your faculty which teach, right? The major problem which I felt, which I felt always is the gap between yours and examiner's thought. Okay, there's a huge gap here. Now this is your thought, okay, and this is the solution. Okay, correct, right? And if you attempt some 20 questions in VARC, it's very common scenario. 10 questions are wrong, or 12 questions go wrong, right? So 20 questions which you are solving, 10 to 12 questions are wrong, right? There's something wrong there, right? What is that wrong? That wrong is the gap between your thought process and the examiner's thought process that they are written in solution, be it audio, video, or be it text, anything, right? Okay, so basically this gap you need to reduce. So always, whenever you give your VARC sectional, whenever you give your VARC mock, okay, analyze it and try to analyze quickly, okay, so that you remember all the answers. Okay, so because you think that for this question number 2 you have marked answer A, but no, answer was C. So you just try to repeat that thought process, what you thought and you marked answer A, and what examiner thought and they marked answer C, right? Read that, think about your thought process about marking A, and read that solution or video solution for logic behind answer C, and just try to think, just try to, okay, this is a gap, I'm thinking in wrong direction, right? I need to think in correct direction. Okay, that's one of the best reasons, right? One of the best thing you have to do in EVRC, that minimize this gap. Just try to close in this gap, guys. Just try to close in. Okay, the more you close in this gap, the better you fare in VRC. Okay, so just try to, and in this basically, apart from all the CAT papers you do, I think previous years ZAT papers will do you a world of good. So make sure that in VRC you're solving all the previous years ZAT papers. Okay, that's where the CAT has recently moved now. Okay, the pure logic, critical reasoning, RCs, indirect questions, previous years ZAT papers. Solve all the past 12 years previous years ZAT paper. It gives you a lot of good idea. Okay, so all the best, guys. I think we have discussed a good strategy, and then we will I'll again come back with some good mock, how to attempt mock, what is the gaps for mocks, how do we again analyze mocks separately, right? We'll have a separate session on this. Take care. So just keep on fighting, guys. Don't give up. Don't give up at any moment. Okay, keep fighting. And finally, the echo dot question, guys. Okay, the echo dot question. Okay, so in this session, what is the number of mocks? I told all of you that all the people starting their preparation in June and July. Okay, how many number of mocks you should give? Okay, option A is 35, option B is 40, option C is 45, option D is 50. So how many mocks I told here you must give? That's the echo dot question. You should answer this question, and then let's see, you can win an echo dot. Okay, thank you.